everybody. Jack Kern here, inviting you to join us for another exciting hour of wrestling action on Grand Prix Wrestling. Luigi Marcera will join me at ringside, and we'll bring you all the action. We have something special in this program. For the first time on our TV show, the Sheik will wrestle. He'll be wrestling in Detroit against Chief J. Strongbow. So we're looking forward to bringing you that one. Leronix, LeGaulois, will go against Serge Dumont. And we've got Alexander Scuredis, André Pelletier, Jackie Wiecz. So get ready for the action. It comes your way right after these messages.
Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, the first match, le premier combat, une chute limitée à 10 minutes, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. First, tout d'abord, de Quaticook, dans le Québec, from Quaticook, province of Quebec, weighing 227 pounds, André, Proulx. Et son adversaire, aujourd'hui, his opponent today, from Greenville, South Carolina, weighing 236 pounds, de Greenville, en Caroline du Sud, à 230 livres. Le voici, here he is, Tommy Seigler. And the referee, l'arbitre, Omer Marchessault.
We're all set to go here at ringside, and Luigi Marcera, welcome once again to the program. Whoop.
How you doing, Jack? Here we go again.
Things started to happen pretty fast as André Proulx doesn't wait for the official sign from Marchessault. He gets the action underway right away, and not exactly in the most fair way.
Well, Jack, I figure that André Proulx knows he's outclassed a little bit because Tommy is a fantastic wrestler, and I guess he's trying to take advantage of him, but right now he is not doing too good.
This Tommy Seigler has made quite an impression very quickly on the Quebec wrestlers. He's from South Carolina, but he's been around quite a long time. He's pretty well known now, and he's a big favorite with the crowds here in Quebec.
Jack, he came here highly recommended, and he's proven to be exactly what we were told about him. He's fast, he's big, he's strong, he's a very likable fella, real gentleman outside the ring, also in the ring too, and knows what he's doing exactly.
Well, I tell you, I don't think André Proulx is going to catch him with his back turned anymore in this bout.
I doubt it very much, Jack. I think that Tommy came in a little bit relaxed, knowing that he didn't have too tough a man to meet. It wasn't a Tyler or a Joe Poisson. And kind of relaxed a little bit, but now he's got him under control, or he did. There he goes, right out. André Proulx backing off a little bit, trying to take a little rest.
Well, Montreal wrestling fans, in this part of the country anyway, are looking forward to June the 11th at the Montreal Forum when that big night for Tokyo Joe. We've mentioned it a couple of times, but the card has been set now, and it looks like one of the biggest nights in Montreal wrestling history, all for the benefit of Tokyo Joe, who, as most wrestling fans know by now, was in a bad car accident out in Calgary on his way home to Japan. And he's lost one leg, and we feel badly about it because everybody liked Tokyo Joe very much, likes him very much, and I'm glad that they're staging this benefit for him on June the 11th. We'll tell them about the card as we go along, Luigi.
Right, Jack. Grand Prix Promotions is flying Tokyo Joe in from Calgary. He's in the hospital recuperating, and he'll be in here June 11th for that big show at the Forum. It's a benefit for Joe. He gained the admiration of all the fans here, plus the wrestlers. A fantastic fella, and it's a thing that I believe that it's to a good cause, and it'll be at the Forum June the 11th.
Well, ever since this bout seemed to get off to a flying start, it's kind of slowed down a little bit. Proulx is moving much more cautiously now because he knows he's got himself some wrestler in this very personable Tommy Seigler. He's a nice guy.
Very nice guy, Jack.
Had occasion to meet him outside the ring on a couple of occasions.
Very quiet-spoken, easygoing fella, but one tough wrestler, believe me. Right now, he's in a little trouble, but I think that he can slip out with a hammerlock right here and turn him over for a pin. Whoop, almost did. Jack, going to be a lot of big names at the Forum on June the 11th. Donnelly Jonathan, the Noble Sheik, Big Ernie Ladd, 350 pounds, 6'8".
Former NFL All-Star footballer, one of the best.
Right, Jack. The two Italians, Gino Bravo and, Gino Brito and Dino Bravo.
I do that a lot, but you're not permitted being Italian. You're supposed to get it right.
Two great guys, Jack. Two terrific wrestlers. And they're going against Ernie Ladd and Hank James. That should be one heck of a scrap. Edouard Carpentier, the high-flying Frenchman, will be there also. New boy, Alibaba from India, 260 pounds. Tarzan Tyler. Another new boy, Ben Justice. Comes here highly recommended. Crybaby Cannon, 425 pounds.
Going against the Gigi the Greek.
Big Gigi, 425 pounds. The Pizza King of Montreal.
I hope that they've got the ring reinforced for that bout. But Pappas and Gregory sort of make up the difference, don't they?
Right, Jack. Right now, Tommy seems to be in control here. He's kind of blocking André Proulx. André Proulx looking a little leery there. He knows he's in for a struggle.
He's not a newcomer, Proulx. He looks like he's been around a while.
He's been around for about 8-10 years, Jack, and he's a pretty fair wrestler himself. But he's not in the same class as good friend Tommy Seigler.
Well, this, of course, is a 10-minute time limit bout, as are all the bouts on our TV show, and except, of course, for the last one, when these are 10-minute time limit, and the end one, the feature match, is the TV time limit bout. So I don't know how much longer they've got to go in this one, but I don't know. I still keep waiting for Tommy Seigler to break out and go to work here. So far, he hasn't been able to.
I think he's waiting
He's just being bitten there.
Ooh, it's a nice knee to the kidneys.
Maybe a nice knee to you, but I'm sure it isn't to Tommy Seigler.
There's a nice headbutt in the corner.
I don't know what your definition of the word nice is, but I sure wouldn't want to be at the receiving end of some of those blows. Wow, there's a rabbit punch.
Oh, here comes Tommy right back. I think Tommy just waiting for André Proulx to make one mistake, and we'll get him. Here we go now, Jack.
Into the corner. Stomps him. And another stomp.
5 minutes.
Wings him into the ropes. What does he do?
One nice
flip.
back drop.
Right now he's got a sequence of action.
This should be it, Jack.
The abdominal stretch.
This should be it, Jack. There's no way out of this here.
This is a submission hold, the abdominal stretch, and it looks like Tommy Seigler has got him. He's got him, no question about it. It didn't take him long once he finally started to move, but that's a vicious hold. No way anybody can get out of that unless somebody steps in and interferes with the bout. So there we go with Tommy Seigler finally coming on and polishing off André Proulx. Proulx from Coaticook in Quebec. Tommy Seigler from Greenfield, South Carolina.
Le gagnant, the winner, Tommy Seigler.
Well, Tarzan Tyler is not only a very successful wrestler and bon vivant and raconteur bien connu, and etc., but he's also got a few proteges in what is becoming a stable. These Cuban Assassins have been a spectacular addition to the wrestling scene.
You know, Jack, I was here with you a couple of weeks ago. I think it might have been 3-4 weeks. I can't remember. And I was telling you about these guys. I found them in Cuba and everything. But ever since that, the people have been calling me and asking me so many questions about these guys. I wish those guys could talk English so they can answer their own phone, you know. But these two guys are in demand now all over the world. You can't keep them just here in Quebec, because I realize that now. So I don't know what I'm going to have to do. All the promoters everywhere in the world are asking for the Cuban Assassins. They're calling me. They want to know where I got them. Well, I explained that to you and the people before, so I don't want to go over that again. But one thing for sure is that look at these guys, the way they look. And I wouldn't tell the people that they're crazy, but they're a little wild, and they're hard to handle, I'll tell you that. A lot of times at night, I got to chain them to their beds when we go to nice hotels, because, as you know, I always stay in nice places, and, and so I take these guys with me, and a lot of times they don't want to let them in, so I got to tell them that I'm going to take care of those guys. But once I get them in the room, I got to tie them up to the bed with chains and stuff like that. It's unbelievable.
Well, now, their wrestling style is what makes them so popular. I've never seen anybody. They fly through the air like missiles, well, Cuban missiles.
I'll tell you, Jack, they're great athletes. I know that you know a lot about wrestling. You've been around the wrestling professional sports for a long time, and you know about athletes, and you know that those guys are in tip-top shape. And the only thing is that it's hard to handle them. You never know what they're going to do. Right now, I'm just watching them because you never know what's going to happen with those guys.
They seem almost to be trained in the European tradition of being a gymnast as well as being pretty good wrestlers, too, and quite an attraction. Thank you, Tarzan, very much, and thank you, Cuban Assassins. Gracias.
Okay.
Gracias.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames, mesdemoiselles, messieurs, le deuxième combat, the second match, one fall with a 10-minute time limit, une chute limitée à 10 minutes. First, en premier lieu, from Belgium, weighing 243 pounds, de la Belgique à 243 livres, Leronix, le Gaulois. et son adversaire. Aujourd'hui, his opponent today from Drummondville, Quebec, weighing 302 pounds. De Drummondville dans le Québec à 302 livres. Il est là, there he is, Serge Dumont. And the referee, l'arbitre Omer Marchessault.
Well, you don't have to wonder about who the crowd favorite is here, Luigi. They like big Serge Dumont because he's from Drummondville and he's the big country boy who's come on to become a headliner in Grand Prix wrestling. And they love to hate the Gaulois, Patronix and Leronix. This is Leronix without his partner. Kind of a strange wrestling style, European in background, obviously.
Exactly, Jack. He's done a lot of wrestling in and around Germany and Austria and so forth. And he's tried to adapt his style to American standards, so we say. And he's done a pretty fair job. But up against Serge Dumont, he's got a... I call him l'habitant.
You see that invitation from Dumont?
He picked up 265 pounds there like he was a baby. Big, strong, young boy from Drummondville.
Good arm drag.
Right, very good.
You don't expect a big man to go down that quickly, you know.
Well, Jack, he's also, say, a student from the Grand Prix School of Wrestling. And I would say that he has been one of the most promising of the school. He picked it up in about 5 or 6 months to where usually it takes almost a year for a guy even to know what it's all about.
Mind you, Luigi, you got to admit that he came to the school with a lot of natural equipment.
Right, big. He's about 3'10", I would say. But he's fast. He's very, very supple. Knows what he's doing.
Had he no athletic background prior to coming to the
I
wrestling
think
school?
he's pulling a plow, Jack, without a horse. I don't know. He's fantastically strong. And you can beat on him all night and he'll still come out there staring at you. Right now he's down in a little trouble, but he shouldn't have any trouble.
Well, this is a painful thing, this wrist lock that Leronix is using on him here, and it's hard to get out of, because every time you make a move, well, when you use the hair combined
Nice
with it,
handful of hair, it works pretty good, Jack. But like you said, that wrist lock, it's very painful, and by controlling the wrist or a man's neck, you can get to control his whole body. The two weakest parts of a man's body are his wrists and his neck. If you can weaken them, well, then you got the man beat. Also, a good straight right hand, too, like Serge Dumont trying to do right now.
while the action is going on, I just want to say thank you to Sam and Violet Linda. This is a couple that's been writing to me faithfully just about every week since we started Grand Prix Wrestling. They love it. They watch it all the time. And Sam and Violet are making comment on the fact that they're very pleased that they're going to have a night for Tokyo Joe. And I'll just read you a little bit of the letter here, Luigi. She says, I feel so deeply sorry for a good guy that would do what he did, try to help someone else. Well, she's referring to the circumstance in the accident where someone else was in an accident. Tokyo Joe went to help him.
Exactly.
And that's when he got hit by a passing car.
Exactly, Jack.
He's tops as far as I'm concerned. I wish him well and hope that he and his family have some measure of happiness. I'm thankful for the grand heart of Canadians, Sam and Violet say.
Very nice letter, Sam and Violet.
And they watch us all the time. They both like a good, clean wrestling match where the wrestlers finish up shaking hands, but I gather this is written by Violet, and she says that you don't see that too often, but she understands that the young people like to see a lot more violent action than she prefers.
Right, Jack. Right now, Serge got a little control. Nice big right hand to the side of the head. Down goes Leronix. Serge picks him up by the arm. Here we go into the ropes.
I guess he'll just, whoop.
Bear hug. This should be it, Jack.
Bear
That's
hug.
about it.
Look at the arms on there. There's not too many ways out of there. He hasn't got Patronix around to help him, and I think this will probably be it. Look at Dumont. Just, there he goes. He's got him.
Big farm boy. Serge Dumont wins again, Jack.
That's the kind of hug that doesn't have a lot of love involved in it. And you see a fellow named Gilles de Fish Poisson with that ball.
Exactly.
After 4 minutes and 5
Just
seconds.
4 minutes and 5 seconds. Watch out. Here's Eddie Creachman and Tarzan Tyler. And I don't know what's going to happen here now. And I don't know what Eddie Creachman is doing in here, but he's protesting something rather violently.
I believe that Big Serge Dumont wants a piece of
Whoa,
Tarzan
watch
Tyler.
the cane.
And there goes Creachman. Hit Serge Dumont with the cane.
Just look at the shoes that man's wearing. They got the high heels, and that's what he's kicking with. And that's not, I mean, the wrestlers wear gym shoes. But those are tough shoes to be getting a kick in the head from.
Right now, Jack, Serge is down and he's hurt. And Tyler's taking advantage of the fact. Pulled up by a handful of hair. Waxman head a few times. There goes Creachman with the cane. Serge in bad trouble, Jack. That over-martial referee's having a hard time to keep Creachman back.
Leronix is long gone. He's out of it, and they're just attacking poor Serge Dumont right now. Here comes Tommy Seigler, and he's going to take care of Eddie Creachman. You
There
notice
goes Creachman out of the ring. There goes Tyler out of the ring.
Creachman went through the ropes, the cigar still in his mouth. He never gives up that cigar. Well, they're leaving. And I think finally Tommy Seigler manages to take some of the pressure off Serge Dumont, who is not only hurt but enraged.
He's mad.
He's bleeding.
Got a bad cut over the eye, Jack. He's real mad.
Cane and the shoes did their damage.
I'll guarantee
and
one
whatever
thing.
else Tarzan Tyler had in his hand.
I'll guarantee one thing. If Serge ever gets a Tyler in the ring, then it's going to be one big bloodbath.
Well, I think that's it for the action because Tyler and Creachman have left. And Serge Dumont ended up the winner, in case you forgot, over Leronix, LeGaulois. Some time ago, I was talking to the former Mr. Universe, Roy Callender, and he mentioned that he didn't work out as much now as he used to. And I wondered how much that was. When you were active in competition and so on, how much did you have to train?
On an average, about 5 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Really? That's what, weightlifting?
Well, I made it in 2 years, and I really trained, 5 hours a day, 6 days a week. And
Were you the classic story? Were you a scrawny kid? I mean, were you
I would
thin?
say so, 140 pounds.
140 pounds? Really?
Yeah.
You're the classic ad of the guy that got sand kicked in his face and went out and built up his body and took care of the...
Well, I did.
Well, would you recommend it for youngsters who may be watching and they feel a little inadequate because they haven't got good body development? Would you recommend this for them?
It's not a question of inadequacy. But I think that for all kids, especially the ones, growing up, and I don't see anything that it could be better for them than something like bodybuilding, physical culture, because you get strength, fitness, and every sort of thing from just coming in a gym and working out with weights,
So it's an all-around health thing. I mean, it's not just the exercises, it's the diet to watch carefully. And I think you're also concerned about what they do to their bodies, what they put into those bodies, like cigarettes and that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah, I try to stop kids, wherever I go from smoking. I have a thing going now. I have about 18 or 20 kids where I have them on a calm down program, as it were, from cigarettes. I try to talk them out of it because I don't see any point in having young kids taking their nice, young, healthy bodies and ruining them, through cigarettes.
Is it possible for them to hurt themselves at this? They have to be careful, don't they, in the beginning?
With training with weights?
Training, yeah.
No way. You have to be careful in anything you do. But there's no danger. If a kid wants to train with weights, it's quite safe.
Start off in moderation and then build from there, right?
That's right.
Okay, Roy. Well, you're a pretty good example of what you can accomplish, and I'm going to try and get on that countdown from smoking program of yours myself. Thank you very much, Roy Callender.
And ladies and gentlemen, as you know, the belt has been held up by the commission. At this time, there is no United States heavyweight champion. There is no champion. This bout will be for the United States Heavyweight Championship with no disqualifications. No disqualifications. 2 referees. Introducing from Oklahoma, weighing 245 pounds, Chief J. Strongbow. His opponent from Syria, weighing 240 pounds, the former United States champion, the Sheik. He is accompanied by his manager, the Palestinian brain, Eddie Creachman.
see the Sheik and Chief Jay Strongbow, and we've been waiting for the action to start here in this bout that incidentally took place in Detroit, I believe, Luigi.
Right, Jack. Big Jay Strongbow, Oklahoma Indian, very, very well known in the States. Has yet to make an appearance in Montreal, but we expect him pretty soon. And I guess everybody knows about Noble Sheik and his manager, Eddie Creachman. Like you say right now, the action's about to start. And I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen, Jack, because I haven't seen this film before.
Well, the Sheik is definitely going to be here on June 11th to wrestle Big Don Leo Jonathan in the Montreal Forum at that Tokyo Joe benefit night.
Right, Jack. And
boy, Strongbow does a lot of dancing, doesn't he?
here goes the Roadrunner, Creachman. And here comes Jay with against the Oklahoma War Dance. He's taking over real fast. 4 or 5 right to the head of the Sheik. Creachman getting kind of excited in the corner. There they go.
I understand that this Sheik is probably one of the wealthiest athletes in the world.
He might get kind of mad at us, Jack. The Internal Revenue Service might go after him. But from what I hear, he's real rich. But
top draw everywhere, isn't he?
Right, Jack. He's made nothing but big money all over. And he's very powerful.
What's he got in his hand?
It looks like a
pen or something. I don't know where he got it. I didn't see him take it out of anywhere.
But, Jack, I've seen the man wrestle maybe 10, 15 times, and he's very, very vicious, very mean. And usually his matches end up in bloodbaths, he's rough, he's rugged, he's colorful, and he's a big crowd, a big attraction.
Not a crowd pleaser, exactly, would you call it. He uses fire as well.
Right now he's got the big Indian in trouble, Jack. He's gouging him or hitting him with something he has in his hand. I can't tell what it is. I don't know if it's a fountain pen or something, but he's stabbing Jay Strongbow in the throat.
He seemed to grab it somewhere outside the ring off a table or something when he came over there. I'm not exactly sure how
I think he had his tights, Jack. There goes back and tights again. Here's Strongbow working on it. He's dirty this now. What is it?
I don't know.
Strongbow's got it now.
Got it now. I don't know where the referee is. There's one outside the ring and one inside the ring. One outside the ring is mostly to take care of Eddie Creachman. Well, this one's backfired on the Noble Sheik. Creachman almost got a taste of the medicine there. This Strongbow is listed at 225, but I think he goes a lot heavier than
He's
that.
about 260, Jackie.
Oh,
at least that much.
Big, tall, rangy guy. Well, the Sheik, he's drawn blood now with whatever it was, and he still hasn't stopped dancing. Knee drop. Out of the ring goes the Sheik. And Strongbow seems to have taken over command here, right into the metal turnbuckle.
That's good for headache, Jack.
Yeah, there's got to be a morning after that one.
Again into that turnbuckle.
That's metal. There's no way you can avoid that fact.
Now here goes the bell, Jack. Here comes Jay Strongbow with the bell. He hits him with this thing, he'll kill him. There he goes.
Well, he got his hands up to break that one.
Thank God for that, Jay. He would have killed him with that thing.
That's a big brass bell.
You notice Creachman won't go too close to the Sheik. Too close to Jay Strongbow.
Now he seems to have the rope and the hook. Well, they finally got it away from him. That's dangerous. There's no... Oh, a chop right to the top of the head. I don't know. I thought I heard the ring announcer mention that this was for the United States Championship and there will be no disqualification in this bout. Well, the Sheik, of course...
I guess that's why, Jack, they let go all the rules. They're doing everything here now. They should have been both disqualified a long time ago. But like the guy said, this is no disqualification match, so I guess they're allowing everything here.
I know that the Sheik did have the title, but I think he announced something at the beginning of the match to the effect that it had been suspended. He had taken the belt away from him.
Apparently it was held up, Jack, and this match is to determine who will be the U.S. champion. Right now it looks like Jay Strongbow, the Indian, will be the new U.S. champion.
Well, just the way the match stands at this moment, there's no question about who is in command because he's turned everything around on the Sheik. Every ploy that the Sheik has tried to use, he's ended up using it himself and going him one better. He's got him cut badly, bleeding. And he's throwing him into that corner with great abandon. And at the moment, the Sheik is kind of discombobulated, I'd have to say. He doesn't seem to know where he is. But he's stalling for time. He's cagey, ring veteran. There he goes.
Nice little leg takedown. Beautiful move by the Sheik. Now he has some kind of claw on him. Jay hits him again right in the head. forces the Sheik to break the hold. Another chop to the Sheik's head. That was a straight right hand. Turnbuckle into the corner. And a kick. Ooh, a nice kick right to the guts. Roadrunner Creachman getting a little worried there, a little nervous.
Well, he likes to handle champions, there's no question about it, and he doesn't want to see his boy lose that belt. He wants him to come on and take it. But Strongbow seems to be in command, using a lot of judo moves and chops and things to the top of the head. And very effective.
Creachman in the ring now. I know he's got.
Whoop, whoop. Well, the cigar finally came out of his mouth.
That's a big dollar Havana, too, Jack.
Smokes nothing but the best.
Now Jay Strongbow choking the heck out of Creachman.
Strongbow
watch that Sheik. Watch that Sheik
here. He's taking his attention away from the Sheik, and that's dangerous. I don't know what the Sheik's got in his hand now, but it looks like something as large as a microphone.
I think
he's got him.
That's it, Jack.
Well, there were no disqualifications. Eddie Creachman is laid out cold, and Strongbow is out cold. The belt, they threw away all the rules for this one, and the Sheik retains the belt, but he doesn't look like much of a champion right now.
Three guys on their back here, Jack. Creachman, the Indian, and what's the Sheik doing now?
He's putting something away or bringing something out. I don't know which.
Here goes Strongbow back on the Sheik, choking him.
Ladies and gentlemen, 6 minutes, 45 seconds. The winner, and again, the United States heavyweight champion, the Sheik.
Champion fighting his back, Jack.
Creachman wishing he'd stayed elsewhere tonight. Strongbow really.
Oh, no. He hit him with the belt on the head.
That's a heavy belt. But they're all stunned in there a little bit. They don't seem to know what they're doing. But it all comes out that Creachman retains his United States championship.
No, Creachman, Jack.
I'm not Creachman, no. I'm sorry. The Sheik.
Creachman would love to be United States champion. Would you believe that Creachman actually was a wrestler one time?
Well, he must have been a lightweight.
Right, from wrestler to referee to manager. And you have to admit, though, that he is a good manager because he makes his boys money. I don't like his tactics whatsoever, but he does make his boys money. I guess that's what this business is all about, making money.
Strongbow isn't finished yet. Look at that. He's mad.
There goes Creachman out of the ring again. Strongbow after the Sheik, not letting up one bit.
It sure doesn't look like he's been defeated. The Sheik looks like he's been through the ringer.
Once again, ladies and
Strongbow.
gentlemen, 6 minutes, 45
There's the
seconds. The winner,
announcement
and once again, the United States heavyweight champion, the Sheik.
Crowd doesn't like that one bit, Jack. They're hot and mad. Like know where Creachman is right now.
He's long gone. Sheik's looking for some protection to get out of there.
There goes Jay Strongbow again. One thing about the Sheik, Jack, you have to give him credit. He supplies the fans with a lot of action. There's never one dull moment.
Well, the same kind of action you'll see at the Forum on June 11th when he comes in to wrestle Big Don Leo Jonathan. And I think that that belt will be up for grabs at that time.
Right, it should be, Jack. And I think that Don Leo Jonathan will become the new champion again. To me, he's one of the greatest wrestlers the world has ever known.
Well, that's it then. The United States champion still, the Noble Sheik, over Chief Jay Strongbow. That bout taking place in Detroit. Still taking place, for all I know, in Detroit. Talking with Billy Two Rivers, and the last time I talked with you, Billy, we got talking about the impact you have over in Britain, how you seem to be very much in demand over there, and I think rightly so. I mean, I disregarded one very important point, and I didn't mean to do that deliberately. First of all, I'm sure they like you because of your very fine professional wrestling style.
Well, yes, I think they've never seen an Indian wrestling over there, and I think a lot of them come out there out of curiosity, and you'll find that the parents bring their children out to come and see an Indian because they don't really have a chance to see an Indian in person, you know. And when I do meet them, naturally you meet your public after you've wrestled or before you're going to wrestle. They're full of questions, and consequently they're very curious, and it's interesting for me to go over there to learn about the English people, and the English people learn a little bit about Indians.
Now, last time you mentioned something about how they thought you'd probably be living on the plains and in tents and so on. What are some of the other things that they're curious about?
Well, they're curious about our language. You know, they want to know our language, and if we still speak Indian, and naturally we do. There are various dialects. There's over 300 Indian dialects, and they want to know about our traditions and our dances, and if we still maintain it, or if we're still Indians as Indians live. Well, I tell them no. We live in houses, and we have central heating, drive cars, but we still maintain our culture, and they're very, very interested in this line.
Do you actually speak some Indian for them?
Well, if they ask me, they usually ask me to say a couple of words, and naturally I respond and tell them to give them a few basic words.
Because up till then, all they've ever heard is somebody saying, "When sun come over horizon," and white man speak with forked tongue and that sort of thing. Thank you very much, Billy Two Rivers.
Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames, mesdemoiselles, messieurs, the fourth match, le quatrième combat, une chute limitée à 10 minutes, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. First, tout d'abord, de Détroit, 255 livres from Detroit, weighing 255 pounds. Le voici, here he is, Hank James. Et son adversaire aujourd'hui, his opponent today from Greece, de Grèce, à 248 livres, weighing 248 pounds, Alex Scuredis. And the referee, l'arbitre, Omer Marchessault.
Well, that's a big man to be dressed in such a pretty fashion, Luigi.
Right, Jack.
He wants to shake hands.
He's pretty big. He must be about 6'7". Ooh, there he goes right off the
Scuredis may learn a few lessons here about appearances not being necessarily, you can't.
How would you describe the man, Jack?
Wow. He's a big guy. How tall is he anyway?
He's about 6'7", Jack, around 275, 280.
Mind you, Scuredis isn't exactly a midget.
Scuredis is about 235, 240, Jack. He's also a Grand Prix student, but right now, I wish the heck he hadn't gotten this school.
Oh, the big kick. He
Nice
just
kick to
reaches
the
up
head.
with that and struts around
I
there.
think there should be a Jack.
He's got him.
That's
Wow.
it. That didn't take more than, what, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, Jack?
Didn't seem to take very long, that's for sure. This is another Creachman protege, I think. Big Hank
Right,
James.
Creachman talked to him into coming down here with a pretty good contract, and although I don't see Creachman around, but what's he doing now?
No little dance. Wow. Flip Wilson would love him. That's it. That's Hank James from Detroit making his debut with us here and defeating Alexander Scuredis from Greece in very short fashion. Just adding one final emphasis, and that's it. Well, Don Leo Jonathan is normally a pretty composed, calm, and easygoing guy, and when you're 6'7" and weigh 300 pounds, that's just as well. But you had a match a week or so ago in Ottawa against the Sheik, and I understand that things weren't all that calm and quiet. Tell us what happened in Ottawa.
Well, it was on the 6th of May, and I went into a match in Ottawa with the Sheik because I was just asked to go and wrestle. I wasn't aware that the Sheik was going to be there when I signed the contract, but it seems that the week before the Sheik had threw fire in in Wiecz, the Carpathian.
Yes.
Anyway, Eddie Creachman had handed the Sheik the fire or something. Anyway, he was severely burned, and Edward Carpentier went down, and to get Wiecz out of the ring, and he said, well, maybe I wrestle him, I don't know. Anyway, they called me in. So, unbeknownst to me, I get there, I've got the Sheik there, I've got Eddie Creachman there, I've got everybody around the ring. The Sheik starts out, and he starts hitting me with some foreign object, and he hurt me quite badly. I got very, very angry. I attacked the Sheik. I took the thing away that he hit me with, a piece of iron. I cut him open. He's bleeding. I lost my head. I'll have to say that I haven't been this mad since I done the same thing to Vachon out there in the ballpark.
But the point is, you were disqualified. Now,
Yes,
I
I was
understand that
disqualified.
on May the 22nd, you're actually going to fight him for his United States Championship belt, you know.
Yes, and there's going to be 2 referees there, one to watch Creachman, one to watch the Sheik. And I tell you, Jack, there is going to be a lot of blood this time. There is going to be a lot of blood. I'm going to leave him laying in the puddle like I did.
Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, the television main event, le combat principal de la télé. First, tout d'abord, c'est un combat équipe, a tag team match. De Verdun from Verdun, Quebec, weighing 239 pounds à 239 livres, Glen Sharkey. Son partenaire, his partner, from Ville-la-Salle, Quebec, Ville-la-Salle dans le Québec, 222 livres, weighing 222 pounds, Al Bourgeois. Leurs adversaires aujourd'hui, their opponents today, de Sainte-Anne de la Pocatière à 234 livres, from Sainte-Anne de la Pocatière, Quebec, 234 pounds, André Pelletier. Son partenaire, his partner, born in France, now living in Quebec City, né en France, vivant maintenant dans la ville de Québec à 228 livres, 228 pounds, c'est lui, that's him, Jackie Wiecz. And the referee, l'arbitre Omer Marchessault.
Well, Luigi, I don't know how much time we've got for this bout, but there must be quite a bit of time left because we've had some rather short bouts in this particular show. And we've got, would seem to me to be a bit of a mismatch here with Jackie Wiecz and all his experience and big André Pelletier going against Glen Sharkey and Al Bourgeois. But we'll see. Sometimes what looks like a mismatch on paper turns out to be just the opposite.
Right.
There's something like, not as much time as I thought, something like 10 minutes left, I'm told.
Right, Jack. Actually, Al Bourgeois now, he's been a comer. He started off kind of slow, but right now he's improved very much. And although it looks like a mismatch on paper, this could turn out to be quite a contest. A nice handful of hair, nice big body slam to André Pelletier. Also newcomer. Right there, Jack, you've got it. You've got 3 young boys. You've got Al Bourgeois, who's 18 years old. You've got young Glen Sharkey, who's 17 years old. And André Pelletier, he's about 21 or 22. Fantastic body, real strong. And then you have Jackie Wiecz, who I believe is a class by himself. Knows all the classic moves. Fantastic wrestler. Good shape, strong, fast. Nice elbow smash there by André Pelletier.
Bourgeois didn't look like his aim was too good there. He missed him by about a foot.
Right, well, a little nervous, lack of experience, timing's off. But Jackie Wiecz standing there watching what's going on, planning what to do next.
Well, it's funny, we've got Wiecz in there looking so much like his uncle Carpentier, and then over on the other side, Glen Sharkey.
Look like Yvon Robert.
He looks like Yvon Robert
Exactly.
quite a bit. Same build, same wrestling costume.
Well, don't
same
say that.
hairstyle.
Yvon Robert's in good shape right now, Jack. He's lost about 20 pounds, and he's been working out steady. And there's a boy, I'd say if he gets in just a little better shape, he's going to be one of the toughest guys here in the province. The guy's been working out hard every day. I see him in the morning, he's pushing weights, he's doing track work, he's wrestling, taking on all comers. He'll get the boys in the gym, Jack, and there may be about 15 guys, young, strong, and tough. He'll go through them one after another. And Edward Carpentier's watching him, and he says, hey, boy, you're getting in real good shape, aren't you, huh? Most well, he says, I'm mad at I'm mad at Tarzan Tyler, I'm mad at Joe Poisson. He says, I've taken enough guff. I'm out right now, but get back in real good shape and see what's going to happen.
Well, at the moment, they have his leg pretty well hooked. That's, of course, André Pelletier's leg hooked under the turnbuckle. And they're both administering lots of punishment to the midsection, kicks. He's there upside down and doesn't seem to be able to do much about it. Wiecz is trying to get in there and help, but Marchessault is keeping him away. But in the meantime, the punishment is all being heaped on André Pelletier.
André Pelletier, the man from Sainte-Anne-la-Pocatière. And right now, Jack, he's trying to get down fine to go into the Mr. Canada contest, and I believe he has a good chance of winning. But right now, he's not doing too good. He's taken quite a beating from Glen Sharkey, the high school wonder, Ooh,
Well,
nice.
they tagged up, and Sharkey finally came in legally. That was a pretty good takedown.
Now-
And finally, the tag is made, and in comes Wiecz.
Watch Wiecz go now, Jackie. Here's a post wrestler. Double knee lift to the chin, 2 right hands, a couple of fast jabs. Nice flying there. This is good. That's good for the nose too, Jack.
Yes.
New
I
skin
see
job
where
there.
Wiecz is teaming up with Etzifier in the Forum on June 11th against the Cuban Assassins.
Right,
He's going to have his hands full that night.
Right, Jack. There's a nice backdrop by Jackie Wiecz. The Assassins coming back from a tour to New Brunswick. They made a big name for themselves down there, raising $1 million out of trouble.
Monkey flip.
Hey, you get all the moves, eh, Jack?
That's the one. It's the only one I've ever known.
Arm drag, backdrop. That was supposed to be the backdrop. There was a kick to the chest, stomp to the kidneys. Here's the pin, 1, 2.
This a TV time limit bout, by the way. We just wanted to mention that the first fall doesn't necessarily determine the winner. It's the team with the greatest number of
Watch his
balls.
move, Jack. Watch his move here.
Beautiful.
Double takeover.
1, 2, 3.
That's it.
1-0 for Wiecz and Pelletier. Wow, good, classy move, wasn't it?
Exactly, Jack. Very good wrestler, Jackie Wiecz.
That's going to be some bout with the Assassins and Etzifier and Wiecz, because Etsifier's got every move, so is Wiecz, and the Assassins are the most colorful thing to come along on the wrestling circuit in a long
Exactly,
time.
Jack. And also, Edouard Carpentier against the UFO. They've had a couple of classics here. Edouard, the high-flying Frenchman, is still trying to get a real convincing win over the UFO. He's beaten him once before, but he wants to do it in a more convincing fashion.
They usually do it with the Eastern style, with the Kung Fu, the martial arts.
Everything, Jack. You'll see a masterpiece there. And also Gino Brito and Dino Bravo against Big Ernie Ladd, ex-NFL football player, 6'8", 350 pounds, and Hank James, whom we just saw demolish Alex Scuredis in about 30 seconds. Hank James, 6'7", 275.
Makes you wonder what Brito and Bravo are thinking about accepting a match against 2 big guys like that, but they've shown that they can handle themselves in any company. They did, after all, hold the belt for quite a while, and they're not exactly novices in the ring.
Right, Jack. And by the way, they are again the tag team champions of Grand Prix. They defeated Tarzan Tyler and Gilles Poisson in Ottawa on a Wednesday night, and they are again tag team champions. And I know Gino and Dino really well, good friends of mine, and they will back down from no one. Even though that they're weighed by at least 250 pounds, they don't care. Anybody will take them on.
And, of course, the big one that night, and he is the big one, Don Leo Jonathan, the man, against the Noble Sheik. And, that's a top-line match anywhere in the world. And at the Forum on June 11th, it's all for the benefit of Tokyo Joe. We didn't mention Yagi, who was a good friend of Tokyo Joe's. He insisted on being on this card, and he's on there against Proulx. So, you know, every match you look at has got names that are familiar to everybody.
Right, names like Crybaby Cannon, 425 pounds. Gigi, the Pizza King of Montreal. He's in there. High-flying Mike Pappas. Bull Gregory.
The Destroyer.
The 2 Leones, the 2 Sicilians. The Crazy Wild Bunch against Roy Callender, Mr. World, and Michel Pelletier. One of the most fantastic cards, Jack, to be presented here this year in Montreal.
Well, right now it's
Tokyo Joe.
It's 1-0 in favor. That's the score in this TV time limit bout in favor of Pelletier and Wiecz. And every time André Pelletier gets in there, they seem to be able to handle him. And Wiecz moves in and takes over pretty well. But they do it by teaming up on him.
Right,
on,
Jack.
Pelletier.
Pelletier still lacks experience and the know-how, although he'll be a comer. Like I said a few weeks ago, give him about 2 years and he'll be ranked amongst the top 10 in the country.
You look at all these young Canadians in there, and you see 3 of them in the picture now. Each of them big, strong, fast,
young.
You wonder, you know, where the state of Canadian football would be if their athletic talents had been shoved off into football, for instance, because every one of them would make a great lineman or even fullback, you know, linebacker or something like that. They're all built really well, strong.
Right, Jack. I guess in the small towns around Quebec, like Saint-Henri, Pelletier, I doubt very much.
Not much chance to play football.
Right.
No, but there's lots of potential talent for any athletic
last minute in this match.
The emphasis just happens to be on hockey. But you can see that there's lots of boys who make great football players, any kind of athletics.
I don't think, Jack, that they have a proper football program here for the young boys in Quebec. Ooh, there's a nice backdrop monkey flip.
Well, that's Wiecz, of course. He's moved in there against young Glen Sharkey. I didn't realize Glen Sharkey was that young. He's 17, he said.
Still going to high school, Jack. And
must be the terror of the schoolyard.
Would you believe, Jack, that he had his first match against Killer Kowalski? What a way to start out, right?
Did he really?
Exactly.
Boy, that's one way to go to school.
He figured, well, if he could last with Kowalski for about 2 minutes, he'd make it. I think he lasted for about 2 minutes and 2 seconds. So he's still in the business. That's the time limit, Jack. That's about it.
Time's gone.
They're going on the winner.
So the winners are Wiecz
Jackie
and
Wiecz.
Pelletier over Glen, Sharkey, Bourgeois. Nice to work with you again, Luigi. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Jack.
We'll see you next week with more Grand Prix action. So long, everybody.